Welcome to YouTube's channel for listening to your troubles.
What do you think is lacking in newly married couples? Makes you say this marriage won't work?
Constant fighting, insults, raising hands, hitting, and so on. I hate this phrase, but unfortunately, it's the lack of intimacy. If a man or woman cannot or does not want to meet their spouse's needs, this becomes one of the biggest reasons for issues. So what happens then? A man or woman who can't do this thinks they can catch every flaw of their spouse and tear them down, believing that this somehow relieves their own stress. But in reality, they're destroying their marriage. There's no need for that at all. There's something called marriage therapy. A person is constantly suffering from headaches. One day you took aspirin, you took painkillers, it's not working, it stays. So what do? You go to a doctor. In marriage, the doctor is the marriage therapist. It should be either a psychiatrist, psychologist, or an educator. They should have received training in this. Additionally, they should either have a certification in marriage, relationships, or family, have undergone such training. Going to a teacher, a religious leader, a neighbor, or listening to what your friends say without these qualifications is a big mistake. Because if they haven't been trained like a doctor in this area, they can lead you down the wrong paths. Of course, try to work with people you believe in, whom you see, hear, and trust their experience. Like I mentioned, psychiatrists, psychologists, and educators. Well, Miss Seelan, it's very expensive. But brother, nothing is cheap today. It has always been like this. If you want to resolve or fix something, you definitely try to improve a marriage that is draining your life and wearing you down as long as there is love. If there's no love, even if I try my hardest, I can't do anything. Love is a glue. When it's not there, you can put them side by side, but they won't stick. And of course, you will listen to what needs to be done. What shouldn't you do? In this book of mine, I keep explaining these things. There are answers to hundreds of problems. I let go, my Lord. Take care of it. You will find the middle ground. What I say will happen. No, what I say will happen, not what you say. Like two stubborn goats, you can't just lock your horns together and insist on this or that. If possible, you will find a middle ground without breaking each other. You will adapt to this. You can't get anywhere by fighting.
In new marriages, if the desire for children and the process of giving birth happen in the 1 to 2 years of marriage, does this reduce the couple's interest in each other?
Yes, in some couples, a woman can experience mood disorders during pregnancy, becoming irritable with capricious demands, and her coping ability may decrease. Her husband and those around her should understand this is temporary and support her to relax. The emotions she feels affect the baby, so it's crucial to help her stay calm because the person she is carrying in her womb perceives whatever emotions the mother is going through. If you want your future child to have a nice character, good behavior, and even to be a sweet baby who doesn't have gas or cry, you need to pay a lot of attention to the mother. But you see, many men accept this as a whim. Wonder why I'm not being taken out to dinner. While the woman can't stand those smells, she's telling me to cook. Or they gain weight. Over time, their body tastes change because of pregnancy. Some men avoid intimacy due to this perception. Intimacy is safe until birth. However, until the day before the birth, people can easily and carefully engage in sexual intimacy with each other. But the man who can't think of this wants a fit partner in front of him. It's as if that child isn't even his. It's as if that woman thinks she is giving birth to this all by herself. Let's say we've gotten past these. There is a syndrome called Lou-Salek. There are many people who go through this one way or another. Many You will need to show understanding towards these as well. Of course, the night sleep disturbances, the baby's gas, crying, and many other things put the family into a constant state of unfamiliar activity, noise, stress, and sleeplessness. We need to be careful about this too. That poor woman doesn't have to go through this. Oh yes, some men say, I'm working tomorrow. I need to sleep to earn money. So he takes the time to go to bed. Mothers suffer from these things. Men do not. I don't know. I don't understand. I can't touch. These shouldn't happen. You will do it together. And of course, certain things won't happen while the woman is breastfeeding the child. You need to take these into account. Looking around to find out why these things are not happening is absolutely wrong. I don't even find it right to spend time, let alone a lifetime, with a man who doesn't do these things. Yes, you say you've had a child, but what am I supposed to do from this point on? In the first few years, focus on understanding, fulfilling, and strengthening your love in marriage. When ready, have a child. Don't expect a child to fix troubles or unhappiness. A child brings joy to a happy home, but if you're unhappy, it can hurt both you and the child. If a child enters a happy home, it will bring much happiness. But if you're not happy, you'll really be doing a disservice to both that child and yourself. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, leave a comment, or ask any questions you might have. Hello, welcome to YouTube's channel that listens to your troubles.
In the past, even if there was torture in marriages, people didn't get divorced. Nowadays, even stubbornness leads to divorce. What is the reason for this intolerance?
First of all, century has changed. Everyone reads everything, sees everything, watches it on TV, and sighs, both in relief and frustration. They desire these things. He's saying, if he's living, why shouldn't I live? You're saying, you work too, you live too. But what I'm trying to say is that there has been significant progress, especially in Turkey. Those living outside see this difference very clearly. There is an incredible development. People are now aware of everything, their manners, emotions, knowledge, opinions, how they dress, how they decorate their homes. And they are improving themselves relative to what they can do. Accepting torture is never right. There are no such things as men do, or we came like this, and we go like this. Don't do this, and don't leave. You have to think about yourself. You have to think about your child. If no solution can be found for your marriage, are you saying that I and my children deserve to live better? Or are you saying that I should pull this guy in and ruin my life? Of course, everyone has clearly understood that one shouldn't ruin their life. But honestly, it's not right to get divorced over the smallest things. What did we say? You will come to a marriage therapy if you want to eat something, if you have the money for it, or if you're tight on cash, or if you're borrowing from someone, you eat it. Or when it comes to illnesses, you say things like, I can't afford it, I can't do it, it's too expensive. After that, every restaurant you go to is packed to the brim. We all know how much money is spent there. I'm not talking about luxuries. Even the simplest things are turning into amounts of money you wouldn't believe. That's what I was trying to say. Everyone knows everything. You won't just get divorced for no reason, or will you suffer?
What are the things you say when you get married? Like, these will be your responsibilities, you have to do this and that.
You have to be ready for marriage, both for men and women. If someone thinks that marriage means I can do whatever I want, go wherever I want, not answer to anyone, and flirt with whoever I feel like, that definitely won't work. Marrying for money is not right. Loving, even just liking, isn't enough for sure. You really need to love a lot because marriage is truly a difficult institution. Think about it. You will share everything. Whether you want it or not, you will cook, and there's cleaning to do around the house. Whether it's a woman or a man, everyone has their own responsibilities. Women also have many things they need to do in marriage. The man is waiting for that. The woman expects the same thing from the man. In separations, they don't fulfill their duties as men or women. And as I know, get divorced right in front of the judges. Because these are responsibilities. These are the essentials of marriage. I won't do this, I won't do that. Well, I can come and go whenever I want. If you want, I can shout and call out. If they push me too much, I'll do this, I'll do that. You can't go there, you can't go here. There's no such thing. You definitely need to talk. If you are on one side and another is opposite, find middle ground. Marriage requires mutual respect and shared responsibilities. Honor your spouse's modesty preferences. Use we instead of I or you. All of these become mandatory in marriage. If you're not doing these, then you should say no from the start. You can say that everything can fit together. It's great, this and that. But if you're doing things I don't want, and if your husband doesn't want you to dress revealingly or wear short clothes, then you can't do that. You might convince him. And if he can say, forget about it, then if my wife says she doesn't care about appearances, she can do that. But marriage is an institution. It requires mutual responsibilities that everyone must fulfill. And it necessitates using the term we instead of I or you. When there are children, one of you becomes a mother and the other a father. When there are children, one of you becomes a mother and the other a father. You share everything. If you're willing to share your bed, your meals, and your money, you will get married. No, I do what I want. No, won't work. You can't do that. You can at most find a middle ground between what both sides want. Well, I can't pull it like that. Then you shouldn't get married. You shouldn't get anyone in trouble. So these are very necessary. Don't forget, subscribe to my channel